Hello everybody and welcome back to Gaming on Caffeine. My name is Isaac and we are back for some more Sky Factory 2.5. I still don't know what episode it is, Nick.
Hello.
I can never remember the flipping episode.
That's because Isaac, you've confused everyone by offsetting and chopping and changing.
Yeah. Well,
and I think this is 36.
That would make sense.
Say it.
Welcome to episode 36 of Sky Factory 2.5. Jeez,
yeah.
Nick, it's been a weekend, as per usual.
It has been a weekend. For us, it's been...
It's still here.
A day.
Yes. It's been a day. It's been about 25 hours.
Yes.
Oh, Nick, Good's back.
Oh, yeah. Look at him, and he's suited up as well.
I know, right? He's ready to battle with us.
He's dead now, Isaac.
Good. I'll take his stuff.
Yeah, look at him. That was a Sky Factory thing, wasn't it? Good.
It was, yeah.
He's back in 2.5.
Flipping, what a guy.
Who'd have thought?
What a guy.
Wow.
Flipping egg.
Oh
All right,
God.
so Nick, at the end of last time, we set up the... are you finished? Like, we got the big reactor up, didn't we? We got this little automation down here up and running, which has been working fantastically, I might add. If you look inside of the big reactor right now, if you look in, like, this import section, it's got a stack in there.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Oh, wow, I didn't want that to be a thing, actually. Let me get rid of that. I set this up as an output.
All right. So it's not meant to have Yellorium.
It's not meant to have Yellorium in it, no, but the pipe connected to it.
I see.
Because you'll see I've put another access port on here to pull out all of the cyanite, because that's like the byproduct.
The wastage.
But it kind of gives you an idea, because if you look in the import section of the big reactor here, it's got a stack in there, and then we've got another stack and a bit in here. So we've got
this is good.
Just
this is really
almost
good.
3 stacks of Yellorium ready to go. So
and we're full-on core fuel. We're producing 523.
I feel like it's about time we made this bigger.
Yeah,
like try and get as much power as possible. Now that we've got Yellorium, making the parts should be fairly easy. All you've got to do is just make more reactor casing now. Like, that's all we need.
Okay.
What do we need for reactor casing? It is...
We need Yellorium,
iron,
and
graphite.
iron.
Yeah, so iron we've got in abundance. Graphite is just smelted coal. And then Yellorium we've also got in abundance now. So I think we could make this easily much bigger than it already is.
Well, I will smelt some coal, because we probably don't have much graphite.
Yeah, okay, probably not.
So I'll just dump my inventory. Let me have a look.
Okay. We've also got, like, the Yellorium farm has been doing its thing since the end of last episode. This thing is now full. I didn't set up another farm just yet, but we do now have 514 Yellorium seeds just sat in this barrel waiting to be put into some more fields. So we could easily get just more Yellorium farms up and running, Nick. We could have just a ton of these farms.
We need all that we can get.
All that we can get.
All that we can get. Because we need a big reactor.
We need the biggest big reactor.
Big reactor.
We do. Now, before we get into any of that, Nick, there is some stuff that I've done since the end of last episode. So if you come with me through this hatch, which no longer goes down via ladders,
it's
look
lovely
at this.
And refreshing, Isaac.
I know, right? You no
really
longer,
nice.
You no longer drop down into like a moist dirt cavern just filled with flowers and trash and stuff on the floor that's just piling up everywhere. Instead, you're greeted by these lovely spheres or circular islands that I've set up since the end of last episode.
I remember the first time you tried out these, Isaac, in Project Ozone.
Yeah.
And you ended up making a turd made out of dirt. So you've come a long way.
I know, I know.
I'm really proud, actually,
Thank you,
with
Nick.
this.
So I've upped our soul sand production right here. If you look at this chest, we've got a little bit of soul sand. I mean, I'm not going to lie. The production is not... Nick, don't worry about it, okay?
It's very anticlimactic. 10.
Oh, okay. I figured out the reason why as well. So this pulverizer is backed up on sand there.
So
we need another trash can at the back here.
Output.
So once we get that off, the sand should start going again. It should be fine. Over on the far right-hand side, it's like all the way over here, we've got our Botania stuff. We've got all of our endo flames, the mana spreader, sending the mana over to the mana pool here, which is running our orchid. So I've tweaked this setup a little bit. So it's now much more compact, as you can see. It's nowhere near as sprawling and as messy. So all the stuff's picked up. All of the gems go straight into this chest, Nick. So all of the gems go directly into here. And then all of the ores go out into the pulverizer, round through to the redstone furnace, and then up and into the same chest. So that is all of the outputs from our orchid. Like, that is all the stuff that our orchid is making right about now.
We've got a lot of stuff then.
I know,
from the
right?
flowers.
We've got a ton of
GDFs.
stuff. And then over here, Nick, we now finally, on episode 36, have a sifting system. So we're sifting sand, gravel, and dust. We've got all of the barrels here, so if we need any sand, gravel, or dust, we can just pull them out of here. And then they're all being sifted. And then I've used these retrievers. I don't know if you've ever seen these, Nick, from Thermal Expansion. So over here, stuff is being pulled out of the chest, whereas the retrievers can request certain items. And so basically what I've done is I've said this chest is going to request everything that doesn't need, everything that's basically not an ingot or an ore. And then over here, everything that needs to be compressed, pulverized, and redstone furnaced is being pulled over to here.
I see.
So now, instead of having, like a chest for gravel and dust, like a chest for gravel, a chest for sand, a chest for dust, we've just got one chest for all of the non-ore stuff and one chest for all of the ore stuff, and stuff's just being pulled towards it. And it's working.
I like this.
Fantastically. Nick, we've got glowstone. We've got flipping glowstone.
Do we?
Yeah, look at that.
Oh, yeah, look at that. 64. Nice. Yeah, there we go. The power of sifting.
The power of
yeah,
sifting.
You've used that to light all this place up as well.
Yes,
nice.
I have.
It's good. It's very nice.
Thank you, Nick.
Because glowstone was an issue last time, wasn't it?
It's been an issue for a little bit now, yeah.
So that's good.
Awesome.
So yeah.
So this is what I've been working on since last time. I had a few new tesseracts, which are being used to power a couple of things. But yeah, for the most part, everything here is the same as it was before. It's just a lot tidier, looks a little bit nicer, and is much more spread out now. It's not all cramped together in that little dirt hole. And yeah, everything's doing pretty well, Nick. Everything.
Yeah, this is good.
This
is really
pretty
good.
well. Okay, cool. So, are you going to work on making that big reactor big reactor?
I'm making all the graphite. I'm graphiting up.
Okay.
And I'll just work on this and just make it longer.
I'll just spend the next 3 hours working on making the big reactor a little bit bigger, and it will be fantastic.
You see, you know how it goes. I'm proud.
Whilst you do that, Nick, I am going to work, I think, on a little bit of applied energistics, because first things first, I want to get the stuff from the mob farm imported into the system. I want to start importing all the stuff from these chests down here. I want all that iron, all that glowstone, all the stuff that's down here imported directly into the system. And I also want to set up a little bit of auto crafting as well, so we can start to automatically just kind of request smaller items that we don't want to make over and 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 over again. And so
I don't think you said over enough then, Isaac. I think you need to say it more times.
So you meant like over and 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 over again.
Yeah, that's better.
Right, okay.
I mean, still slightly short, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I was thinking it was a little short.
But I'll forgive you.
Okay. Cool. The loot bag system has been doing fine. We got a bunch of stuff in the loot bag area. A little bit of yellorium, some end stone, a bunch of like leather armor, which we're never going to use. But that's been working fine. Cool. So, Nick, the moment people have been waiting for, last session, you teased about the dynamic, intricate, ultra high definition stories from your time abroad.
I mean, I'm a bit scared that I'm going to disappoint
people have
now.
been salivating, waiting eagerly, ravenously for these stories, Nick.
Okay, well, I'm actually a bit scared that it's just going to be all now because
Nick's like, I had.
So I went to a shop and I trod on a cockroach.
Well, Nick, this is what happens when you hype stuff up.
So basically, every year, most years, with the odd exception of 1 or 2 years of my life, we always go to India to like visit family and just like stay there and stuff. And this year was exactly the same.
Okay.
So basically,
how is India in general, Nick? I've never been to India.
Okay, so basically, it is completely different than the UK.
Okay.
It is just throw away your idea of everything.
Okay.
Just
sure.
So basically, it is the first thing you probably notice is the traffic. Like when you get out of the airport, the immediate thing you notice is that no one gives a shit on the roads. Lane etiquette is just not a thing. Right. No one keeps in their lanes. People cut each other up. There's on a 2-lane road, there'll be like 4 cars next to each other.
Okay.
And
Sure.
another thing you'll notice is in terms of the roads is that the horn is everyone's best friend.
Okay.
When you're coming up behind someone, you sound your horn to say, "Hey, I'm up your ass." When you're overtaking them, you sound your horn to say, "Hey, I'm overtaking you. Don't ram me off the road." And then once you've finished overtaking them, you sound your horn again to say, "Oh yeah, cheers, mate." And then that's it. And you know what? I think I actually have a video on my phone that I took last year.
All right.
Of just general driving. And I was I think I was in an auto rickshaw or a motorbike or something. So I'll send that, Isaac. Can you put all these clips in?
Okay.
I've got pictures and stuff that I've
Nick,
been taking.
Before you continue real quick, do we have an inscriber somewhere?
No. Because
you don't
we
need
didn't
it, do
need
you?
them. Didn't need them, Isaac. We didn't need
I'm
them.
sat here looking like a fool, trying
Don't
to
need
make...
them. It's all cheap
trying
recipes
to make stuff.
now.
Flipping.
Yeah.
All right, continue.
So there's also cows everywhere, including in the middle of the road.
I've heard this. I always
You gotta be
assumed it was a
careful.
stereotype, but I mean...
You got to be very careful of the cows, because sometimes one will just pop up out of nowhere and you got to slam the brakes.
Okay.
And just the whole traffic in general is either gridlocked or very slow, so you don't end up going too fast in the first place.
Okay.
The next thing is like the houses. Houses in India are very much different from houses here. Most houses have two. So you got your downstairs area of the house.
Did you say most houses have two?
Yeah, so two houses
okay.
in one.
Alright.
I've got pictures of like as well.
Okay.
And the downstairs and upstairs will be two separate houses, and then they're very square. They're not like houses like here at all.
Okay.
And
what shape would you use to describe houses here, Nick?
house shaped. I'd say they're very house shaped. That's the best thing I can come up with.
Okay, I'm gonna say like if not square, like most rooms that I've been in have been of the 3D quadrilateral variety.
Yeah.
And so for the most part, I would describe them as square. But
yeah, see, houses there are very, very just
like perfectly
like
square,
box shaped.
Right,
yeah,
okay.
rectangular. And then you've always got a terrace on top, so there's like an area at the top where you can stand on the roof, and it's like a little area at the top where you can just like sit down and chill.
Right.
And yeah, everything. There's like some shopping malls as well that try to be very Western.
Right.
And they do a terrible job of it. Like, all their shops are like, best shop end. There's like all these cafes that are like, you want Hattie Cappy, which is meant to be like hot coffee. And it's like, I just look at all of them and just shake my head. So I've got pictures. I'll just send lots of pictures so you get a feel of what it's like.
This is what Nick's been doing over the past few weeks.
It also takes ages to get anywhere. The airport is 35 kilometers because everything's in kilometers there. Yeah.
Okay.
So it was a bit difficult to convert because 1.6 isn't a nice division.
Oh, of course it is, Nick.
Oh, okay. I mean, I don't have your maths brain, Isaac. I can't do it in my head. So 35 kilometers away, which is like 20 miles or something. I'll say 20 miles.
Okay.
Just under 20 miles, which isn't much. Here you could get there in about 25 minutes on a motorway.
Right.
There it takes like 2 hours because there's just so
Really?
much traffic.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. It's a very populous country,
there's
isn't it? It's like the second or third most populated country in the world.
Yeah, second.
India?
Yeah, it's second
Yeah,
behind China.
And like one of the fastest growing, I think.
It is, yeah.
I think it is the fastest growing.
It's crazy.
It's a populous country.
It is very populous. And because it takes so long to get anywhere, there'll be a million shops that sell the same thing within like 100 meters of each other because that's how long it takes to get 100 meters over there. And then you've got like what are known as nice roads, which are basically highways, what we'd call regular 40-mile-an-hour roads here.
You know you're doing it right when you have to allocate the nice roads.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's where you can go a little bit faster when you're trying to get from major city to major city. Right. But anyway, this whole trip started before we went. It was the day before we left, and I was like, yeah, I'm getting ready. And the Sunday before we left, I woke up in the morning and went to brush my teeth and looked in the mirror, and my left eye was just terribly red.
Oh.
I'd picked up some horrible conjunctivitis.
Oh, nice.
It was so bad.
No.
I'm surprised they let me on the plane, to be honest, with that. If I was like one of the people at check-in, I'd been like, what the hell is that? You're not getting on this plane.
I imagine it's probably something they see frequently. They're probably used to it.
Yeah, it was horrible conjunctivitis, though. So I was on this plane, and we fly with Emirates, which is a pretty nice airline. They're really nice. The staff's always awesome. The in-flight entertainment's good.
This episode is proudly sponsored by Emirates Airline.
And the flights are generally, I say that because of like recent events and stuff, generally very smooth and nice. I
have a feeling that this one was not.
So basically, I was on the flight, and it was the initial 7-hour flight to Dubai, because we fly to Dubai because that's where Emirates is based, and then it's a connection. It's another like 3.5 hours to get to India. And I was on this flight.
System's offline, Nick.
And
the system has gone offline.
Oh, I know why, Isaac. The reactors. The reactors shut down.
Died. Oh, you start. Ooh.
I've been working on this. Do you want me to? I'll turn it back on. Here we go.
I don't think that works. I don't think you can.
I'll make all the stuff first before I. Here we go.
That would make a bit more sense. Is it? I'm surprised. Did we not have like a? Oh, I'm guessing you broke this a little while ago.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, because we've got a little bit of a backlog in this energy storage cell, but not enough for you to spend the next hour. I think this needs to be one further down. Yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay, so you were flying. You're about to fly.
There we go. Okay, so there is 4 things that I hate, Isaac.
In the world,
in general, there is just 4 things
you hate in life.
That I absolutely hate. House spiders.
Sure.
Are the problem that comes
very
at the
common.
top.
Yeah.
And I actually saw a huge one. I've not seen a spider in my house in about 1.5 years until 2 days ago, when I saw one of the biggest ones I've ever seen in my room, and I had to it was near the door, so in like a panic, I filled a shoebox with dumbbells and dropped it on the spider. It was very creative, and it left a horrible mess that I had to vacuum up the next day.
Lovely.
But anyway, the second is cockroaches, which are unfortunately very common in India.
Okay.
And that's like next to house spiders in terms of my hatred, so I was just like, whatever I saw, and then try to like run away or spray poison on it or something.
Okay. I imagine you, no offense meant by this, being like one of the, when you watch like I don't know, some kind of movie where there's a typical nerd on holiday who's like bugged out, bug spray. I'm picturing like, you know, you've got all of your protective stuff.
That is basically me. It's one of the other things, mosquitoes. There's so many.
Oh yeah.
And I was just bitten like 1,000,000 times, and I just had like 50 mosquito bites.
As a compliment, Nick, you're obviously a very tasty individual.
I know. I must have very sweet blood, because it seemed to be only me they were targeting. It was just like everyone else in my family was like, yeah, we're fine. And I was just like, oh, my legs. It's just really itchy and swollen. And
it's all that KFC blood, Nick, that you've got going on.
I know, right? There you go. Yeah. This episode is sponsored by KFC and Emirates.
They're after that zinger spice, you know, that zinger flavour that you get from KFC
the zinger mosquitoes. The specific mosquitoes that target people who's been eating KFC.
It's
McDonald's ploy, Isaac. It's McDonald's ploy.
Fantastic. All right.
The third is cyclists on the roads when there's a perfectly good pavement next to it, because I always feel I'm going to crash when I'm overtaking them. Because I've got a black box in my car that monitors the way I drive to lower the insurance price. So to overtake a cyclist, I either make my insurance company unhappy, crash in an oncoming traffic, or almost kill a cyclist. So
again,
I
imagine that you're just driving along, you swerve around a cyclist, and instantly you get a text from your insurance company that your premium's like doubled.
Yeah, that's close to it. I got a call from them once. They called my mom. They're like, yo. And my mom came and she's like, yeah, you've been driving too fast. I was like, what the hell, guys? I'm 18. You can't just call my mom. They're ratting me out.
I imagine like the way you said it as well makes you sound like you're good friends with them, and you're like, what the hell, guys?
Yeah, what
grassing
the hell,
me
guys?
up to my mom.
You could have called me. You didn't have to call my mom. God damn it.
Fantastic.
And the fourth is plane turbulence. And Have you ever experienced plane turbulence?
I not badly. No, I wouldn't.
Okay,
say.
well, I have.
Okay.
A couple of years ago, we were flying back from Greece, and it was one of the most turbulent flights I've ever been on, and I just hated flying afterwards because the plane was just shaking for like 4 hours straight. But there are some people that don't mind it, and there are some people that hate it. And I've been on like 60 flights in my life now. I've been on a lot of flights, but weirdly, as I've grown older, I've become more and more paranoid of flying.
Oh yeah.
So usually plane journeys for me are
as
just
more and more
hell.
movies come out where people just die horribly in plane crashes, Nick.
Yeah, probably actually. That might be it. And then like weird things like flights just disappearing off the face of the earth.
Oh yeah,
they're
like the whole Malaysia thing where people flights just don't. I don't know how you lose a plane. Like I don't know.
I know
that
it makes no sense how that happens.
We just don't know where it went. It's gone.
Exactly.
All right.
And so basically, it was a very early morning flight, and so I'd slept for quite a long time. And we were about 3 hours in, and I just kind of woke up, and I was like, it was a bit like groggy and stuff. And we got a little, was it people bringing like all the tea and coffee around, the cabin crew, and we just got a little PA from the pilot, and he was like, so we're just going into an area of slightly rough air. So, we're going to pause our tea and coffee service. And I was used to this. It's happened loads of times before. Right. Just little areas of turbulence where the plane shakes a bit. And so we started to shake a bit. And I was like, yeah, this is fine, I guess. Because if you think about it, the whole plane isn't actually moving that much when there's turbulence. Right. Because if you close your eyes when you're in a car, you feel the car moving more than a plane would when it undergoes turbulence. Yeah. But this was a bit different. So the plane started to shake a bit more. And I was like, okay, this is getting a bit like bad because I was like grabbing onto my seat thing because I was very paranoid. And then something that I've never experienced happened, right? So out of nowhere, this plane just dropped. Like it literally just dropped into free fall for about 3 seconds. Oh, but if you count 3 seconds in your head, it's a long time. And literally just the whole plane just screams.
I'm gonna say I would have imagined that it was horrible. Just screams.
It was really bad, and like my brother wasn't wearing his seatbelt, and he like was gliding in the air for a few seconds, and then the plane just stopped free falling and just boom. And this was just after lunch.
It's just like a really calm pilot comes back online and is just like,
oh yeah, that's what happens. Okay, so this plane just stopped free falling, and there was just a crash as everyone's plates of food went flying everywhere, and there was just everything was just silent. Everyone was just like, what the hell just happened? And then we get this PA from the pilots, and he was like, so I hope you enjoyed that entertainment. It's unfortunately something that we can't avoid.